Hey, how's it going? This is Megan from Clean Media Productions, and I wanted to take this time to answer some questions through video because I'm just really too lazy to write stuff down nowadays. So these questions are from Dan Dynison. Thank you, man, for reaching out. I'd love to be able to help you with whatever you're doing. I never really considered myself a designer because I'm not formally trained. But I do love to design stuff. In fact, I design everything that's on my site, and now I've turned it into an actual business. So, Clean Media Productions, a quick intro about your field of work. I do a lot of things, but Clean Media is really about cleaning up personal branding, and there is a lot of promotional images that you have to put out into social media, and a lot of the images, not a lot, but a fair few, they're not very clean in their presentation. So a lot of times I can't read text. I don't get that it's from this person. Like, I don't see any consistent personal branding. It just looks like an image with some text on it, and that could be made by anyone. And so Clean Media hopes to kind of infuse your personal brand with all of your social media images, your Facebook cover page, your Twitter cover, your whatever you've got going on online, and just to have it be consistent and clean. So that's what I do. Second question, do clients typically make your job easy or hard? So this question, clients can make your job easy or hard depending on how you communicate to your client in the first place. So a lot of the time, you know, when you're taking on a new job, you have to be really clear about what you are going to be able to accomplish for them, because designing is subjective, right? So you have to be really clear to your client and say, this is how I do things, this is my way, this is my style. It's subjective. I'm going to design this in whatever I view it looks good, right? So as long as you're very, very clear about what you're able to do, what you're able to accomplish with your client, your job can be very easy. If you're not clear, that's when it becomes hard. So I think that it's really important in the first beginning stages that you kind of coach your client about what you're doing. You're being very, very transparent, 100% transparency about what you're doing, your expectations on your side of the fence, and then to be able to communicate and get that across to your client, and to get their expectations clear as well. That way you're on the same page. As long as you're on the same page and you can act as a team from the very beginning, as a collaborative movement, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do for you. Are you cool with that? Do you dig what I'm doing? Then you're all good. You're all good. You shouldn't run into any problems. Question number 3, what are your top 3 frustrations as a designer? Well, since I'm not formally trained, my top 3 would be when I don't know how to do something, right? Or when the technology doesn't do what you want it to do. Like, man, why can't it be so simple? Oh, I have to do this, to activate this, to do this. And so sometimes you're just limited by technology. And the designer mind can go, it's limitless, right? So you're only limited by the technology that you have at your hands. And sometimes you don't have certain technology or software because it's expensive, or it's out of your reach, or whatever. So you're really only limited by the technology of today, which is still very, very powerful. And then just my own knowledge base of not knowing how to do something, that's usually what frustrates me the most. So what are 3 things clients could do to make your job easier? For one, you know, really know what you want. When you go to a designer and you just have this kind of floating, drifting kind of idea of what you want, like, can you just make it look good? That's not enough. That's really not enough. There really needs to be a very clear vision on your side. That makes everything so much easier for the designer, because they go, okay, cool, I can do that. And it's very clear. So a lot of times, and this, I ran into this in the very beginning of me hiring out a designer, because I didn't know what I wanted. And it was very difficult for that designer to be able to please me, because it's like I would change my mind every week. It's like, oh, let's try it this way. Oh, let's try it this way. And that's frustrating for a designer. It's like you need to have a clear-cut plan and outline of what the work entails, because to be doing revisions over and over again, nobody likes to do that. That's very tedious, and it's much better to have a clear-cut vision and present that to, you know, the designer and say, this is really what I want. This is the feeling. This is my ultimate goal. And that way, again, you're on the same page and working as a team. What's your favorite designer tool to work with? Definitely Photoshop, and I just discovered Muse on Adobe CC, and it's incredible for designing websites and stuff like that. And it's such a designer's dream, really. There's some limitations within Muse, but for the most part, you can get around those limitations if you are just creative and you think outside the box, which I love. I love it because I can go in there and play, and you just have complete control. So Photoshop and Muse for sure. How can people get in touch with me? So you can visit meganpangan.com. You can email me at info@meganpangan.com. And you can tweet at me at meganjphoto, or you can find me on Facebook. All that stuff. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm also on YouTube as well. So thanks so much, Dan, for asking these questions. I hope that I was able to shed some light. Some of these you know, what are your top three? If you could pick a few out of there, that'd be great. Because it's kind of hard to narrow it down to 3. So I hope that helps with you and all of your, you know, endeavors, whatever you're trying to create. And yeah, so good things. Thanks for watching.